Hello everybody, and today we're going to be talking about Cult of Chucky, and you don't want to miss it. So let's jump right into it. Cult of Chucky is our movie of the day, and Cult of Chucky is interesting because it actually takes place 4 years after Curse of Chucky. Andy Barclay has returned from the previous movie, and he has been keeping captive this Chucky head. Well, Nika is back, and Nika is actually in an insane asylum this time. And what makes that so interesting is that even though Nika's in an insane asylum, she somehow is still haunted by the idea that Chucky could be around. You know, because it's a horror movie, he eventually is back around. She actually seems to be taking it somewhat in stride when the movie first starts. She doesn't seem too distraught by the previous events, but we know that there's this underlined trauma that came along with it. She's seen everywhere she goes as a murderer, so she kind of tends to go, okay, I'm going to let people think what they gotta think of me. And it isn't long after that Chucky does arrive at the insane asylum. However, how can he arrive there? Because Andy Barclay has him. Well, things go really haywire because then eventually who shows up but Tiffany also. Tiffany delivering a special gift to Nika, another Chucky doll. And it's really wild because by this point in the movie, we've now seen about 3 Chucky dolls. And if you've ever been afraid of child's play because Chucky frightens you, oh, this movie is going to do you times 5, times 6, times 10 even. There is no end to the amount of Chuckies that could be on the screen at any given time. And how's he doing it? Well, I've learned a few new tricks. You know, that type of thing. And, you know, it's about time he learned a few new tricks, really, because the idea that he needed to be in this body the whole time, that to me was always a little bit crazy, that he needed to have someone whose body he could get into, and it was always the first person he told. Well, now if this is the case and there's multiple Chuckies, then this presents us with something really cool, because now any one of these Chuckies could get into the body of someone else potentially. You could have a bunch of Chucky possessed people going around. Although I'm going to tell you something. If you remember right, way back at the end of Child's Play 2, when they were in the toy company, the toy factory, and they killed Chucky. Well, by the time you get to part 3, Chucky was being remade. There were the swirls of blood going all the way around. They actually were going to make that have, a bunch of Chucky dolls able to come to life and start to kill people. But it kind of just stuck with the one. Well, this actually starts to answer that question, but it never specifically says where all these Chucky dolls are coming from, just that he learned a new trick. And, it's a crazy ride because it's full of twists and turns. And I know there's a lot of people that say that they really didn't like this movie, but this movie was a whole lot of fun. I actually thoroughly enjoyed Cult of Chucky. Now, you know, by time everything goes haywire, there's a whole bunch of murderers happening inside of the insane asylum. And then we get the craziest thing of all. We get these maybe Chucky possessions going on. Ooh, definitely worth a watch. If you haven't seen this movie, watch it this week, because the new Child's Play series comes on next week. I really don't want to give you any spoilers as to how they set up the series, but there is an end credit scene in this movie that really does help to set up the Child's Play series. So you're going to want to check it out. It's super good. But here's an interesting fact that I found out about Child's Play, about the Cult of Chucky movie. And that is that the director wanted to pay homage to movies like Shutter Island and other insane asylum movies, to where you couldn't be sure if anything was really happening at all. Where you have these narrators that are unreliable because they're kind of crazy. And that became kind of a really cool thing in this movie, because it does ring true. You do start to believe that. You don't know where your narrator is going. You don't know if your narrator is crazy. And this happens right from the beginning of the movie. From the second that we see Andy Barclay again, we really get that hint that this could be, a case of a narrator who maybe isn't, very sane. And it's very seldom when you get some movies like that, where, you get to see something that is that crazy. And that's what Don Mancini was going for, was this unreliable narrator. So when you're seeing the narrators in this movie, you're seeing them as being unreliable, because the narrators in this movie are unreliable. But it makes for a really interesting thing. It makes for a crazy, crazy movie. And you don't want to miss the opportunity to see this movie if you haven't seen it. Especially if you're planning on watching the new Child's Play series, which will be next Tuesday. So you want to definitely watch that so that you're ready for our review of the new Child's Play series when it comes out. Check your local listings and then check this channel, because we will be doing a review of it after it's on. And that being said, on this channel we tend to talk about all things positive within the fandom. If you're tired of these channels that are all about spouting hate about your fandoms, telling you what to like and what not to like, and accusing everything of being horrible even before it even comes out, then, stop watching those channels and come and watch us, where we talk about things in a more positive manner. We plan on changing YouTube one video at a time, and in addition to that, a portion of all profits from this channel will go to Tourette's research. So there's that. Now, if positive fandom and talking about all fandom is something you're interested in, well, hit that like button to let YouTube know that you like this video. Leave a comment below, because, well, YouTube tends to like it when you do that, and me like hearing from you. And also, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because Miko thinks that maybe YouTube doesn't like nice, positive talk and cute dogs. I told him he's wrong. Prove Miko wrong and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell also, so you know when we do our next video. And then friends, at the end of the day, remember to be safe out there, and fandom is family.